Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jay. He's Maddie. This is Yankee and the Brit. We're gonna go over some divisional round weekends and how you feeling, Maddie?
Yeah, just generally shit. Just the world is a black hole that the Dallas Cowboys continue to get swallowed into every year.
Yeah. Should we just start with the elephant in the room and your Cowboys?
I mean, if you want to, yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna let you start, man. I'm despondent. I'm.
All right. So I blame the whole fucking thing on Dak, and I know people go it's a team sport, it's this and that. He threw two picks, should have been four, and two of them were dropped dead in the hands. And if you think about it, if it's not for the muffed fucking punt, you guys only get 9 points on the board with Dak quarterbacking the game.
I mean, I know the 49ers are a great defense, which is good. Really, really good defense. Like an amazing collection of players. But it's just some of the decision making from Dak Prescott this week, which is terrible. So Dak Prescott, basically, the reason he's been paid this amount of money is one, we fucked up by not paying him earlier, and two, he's meant to be a game manager plus. So like game manager time can go out and win you a game every now and again. Your game manager should not be making you lose games of football. And those interceptions are what lost us this game of football. The 49ers offense is a great offense. We shut it down. As far as I'm aware, we shut that down. Our defense looked amazing, looked really fucking good. All we needed was one drive.
Um, yeah, and I know it's the end of the game, but I'm gonna comment on the fact that I saw the worst play in NFL history on the last play of the game, and I have so many fucking questions about that play. So one, if you're gonna take that formation, why the fuck do you still even have your linemen on the field? You know you're doing the old throw it around, pass it around, hope we get in the end zone drill, and you have your linemen on the field. Why? Why? Just put more receivers and running backs and tight ends out there that can run. Put your fastest guys. And also, I so Zeke, good snap. I'll give him that. That was the best part of the whole play. I don't think they realized that the San Francisco 49ers were just going to bulldoze Zeke because I literally think the play was supposed to go. Zeke snaps the ball. It gets thrown to, I think it's Turpin over the middle.
Yeah.
And I think he's supposed to ladder it back to Zeke, and the whole play's supposed to start that way. But the 49ers blew up Zeke. Great tackle on that catch. And the whole play was over before it started. I had so many questions.
I actually saw the worst play in NFL history before that, when Dak Prescott nearly takes a safety in the end zone to just throw it out anyway. Like, great play, not fucking taking the safety and trucking the guy, but throw the pass that he threw. He then throws it to Dalton Schultz, who doesn't put his feet in bounds before going out of the play. So he does this play, and Dalton Schultz doesn't put his feet in bounds to make the catch. Like,
Dalton Schultz fucked you twice.
Yeah, in that whole drive, Dalton Schultz has been amazing, like, all season since he's been a Cowboy. So I don't want to like fuck about with him too much. But fuck me, what was that? That's the worst play I've seen. But Dak Prescott nearly taking a safety there and trucking a guy, which fair play for getting out of the safety. But fucking hell, what are you doing, you imbecile? What is that? And then not just running for it, then breaking again. Just run for it. From there, run for it and go out of bounds as soon as anybody goes near you. Like, don't then waste more time throwing the fucking ball to Dalton Schultz, who then doesn't put his feet in bounds. Just run. Like, you've made it through the tackle. Go for it. Dak is actually a very mobile quarterback.
And there's the punt, the fucking punt at the end of the game. You wasted 30 seconds. They wasted 30 seconds. And McCarthy screaming that to them to get on the field. Well, that's a lack of your coaching and having them ready for that moment to run out on the field. Like, you wasted 30 seconds getting the punter on there. Like, McCarthy's clock management is just ass. And if you're not calling the plays on offensive defense and you can't manage the clock, what the heck are you there for?
Yeah, exactly. And he's not calling any plays. And people are saying, like, let's give Mike McCarthy some credit for this year. Let's give him some credit for what he's done since he's come in the job. Well, why don't we give the fucking credit to the guys who actually make a difference, and that's Dan Quinn and Kellen Moore. Let's be real. Like, Mike McCarthy has done fuck all. Like,
well, why isn't Jerry on the phone with Sean Payton going, "Hey, Sean, if I fire this guy, will you take the job? Because if you take the job, I'll fire this guy tomorrow." You know,
Sean Payton should be a Cowboy head coach already, as far as I'm aware. I've given it 2 days. That's why I was holding off this podcast. I was hoping to come on with a bit of like happiness because Sean Payton will probably be our coach within fucking 2 days.
Congratulations, you made field goals under the shorter than the extra point.
Yeah. Well, to be fair to him, it was an accomplishment at the time.
Yeah, because even that block was not going in. They showed that at halftime. Yeah. The way he hit that, he was shanking that thing to the left too, which I think it was Chris Sims said he's actually lucky it got blocked because it had probably killed his confidence more if he just shanked another one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Jimmy Johnson said he wouldn't even went into the game with him. He'd have just brought somebody else in and been like, "I'm done with this."
Yeah, definitely. Let's look at, like, we were close to the 49ers. Like, for most of that game, we were close. If Dak doesn't throw those interceptions, we win that fucking game. The first interception is bad. Obviously a terrible interception. But it's the second interception that's a killer. That second, you've just converted, because you've decided Bret the Threat can't kick and he's a threat to all of our playoff hopes. You've had to try and convert a 4th and 3 or something like that, 4th and 4. Within kicking distance. I just want to give like a Bret a break here. That would have been a long kick if they did take it there anyway. That would have been about a 60-yarder, which he's made, but long kick.
Which he made before he was in his head.
Yeah, exactly. He would have made it 3 weeks ago, but yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to go on to. So Dak then throws a fucking pick, which is a 6-point swing, because we would have got at least a field. Well, hopefully, if Bret, because we were in distance where,
in normal circumstances, yes, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It should have been a 6-point swing if he doesn't throw that interception away. Like, that interception, the second one was a fucking killer. And then things that we've been doing all year long on defense, we just didn't have that. Diggs' hands are amazing. He's probably got I'm going to go out and say he has the best hands of any cornerback in the league. No, I'm not. He's not the best cornerback in the league. Takes too many risks and all of that kind of shit. But he's got the best hands of any cornerback in the league, and he drops a fucking sitter. And which changes the entire complexion of that game again. So yes, Dak is to blame for the loss in my eyes, and I bet you didn't think I would be saying that when I came on here today. Just saying you're to blame. But there are other factors there as well. The team didn't play well. I knew that Tony Pollard was an important part of this team. I didn't realize the offense couldn't do anything without Tony Pollard on the field, though.
Well, good luck, or lucky for the Cowboys. He broke his fibula, has to have surgery, so you'll get him back for cheap because nobody's going to pay him now.
Yeah, I know. Lucky when we're up against
Maddie, I did know you were going to put it on Dak because there's no way anybody, and you're a realist, could have talked their way around it.
Yeah, exactly. It was a shambles, a fucking shambles. And we're going to come back to him again later on in the show, but can we go on to a different game, please? Because I think I'm going to burst into fucking tears down here.
Yeah. let's just go to the Giants and the Eagles quick. I told you it was going to be a fucking, I said more than 10. I didn't say it was going to be a 21-point game, but just a better team, a better team.
Yeah, and there's nothing more that we can say on that, really. The Eagles went in, were a better team. Surprise, surprise, Dan Jones is not the second coming of Eli Manning, but with legs. Surprise.
Well, he kind of is. They both throw a pretty shitty ball.
Yeah, the Giants have everything to be proud of this season. Nobody thought they would make it this far. They found an amazing coach. Dan Jones is a guy. He's not the guy. He's a guy that you can do shit with. With Vrabel there, you can put together an effective offense with Dan Jones's legs and with Vrabel's coaching, as long as you also have Saquon Barkley.
We will get to that. Don't worry. We're going to go back and circle back and talk about Dak, so that will be in there.
Yeah. Also, my name always auto-corrects to Marty, and it's really annoying.
Well, he fixed it underneath.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Appreciate it. The Eagles did exactly what they're supposed to do. Exactly what they were supposed to do. But they looked so fucking good doing it as well. I expected them to come out shaky. I expected them to come out tight, and they just weren't that. Jalen Hurts is there. Their offensive line is fucking unbelievable. When you look at that offensive line on paper, you're like, how did any team let this happen? That's what I want to know. Who traded these guys? Who didn't draft these guys?
Well, just something to think on, because at the end of the show, I'm going to ask you who you think will win these games, but we'll pick them with the point spread before the game. So this will be different. Just to give you, so I don't just spring it on you. Well, Daniel Jones is about to get a decent little payday. I think it's going to be a 2-3 year deal from the Giants. I think he stays. And they got to figure out how to keep Saquon Barkley also.
Yeah, well, you can keep Saquon Barkley by only paying Dan Jones sensible money. So around 20, 25 million. That would be.
I don't know.
Probably be right.
If Rodgers is making 60 next year, Pat Mahomes is making 50. Josh Allen's making 50. Shouldn't 30, 35?
I'm not going to be annoyed at 30. If I was a Giants fan, I'd be like, okay, 30 market value. What I've done there is he should be getting paid 20 to 25. Market value bumps up to about 30, probably around there. And you're not too upset about that happening either.
They won't do it, but I think if they franchise tagged him, it would be with the non-exclusive, because nobody's giving up 2 first-round picks for him. It'd be right around 32 million.
Yeah. So probably around there, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, brave. Let's go.
The fucking Jags, man. So I went 4-0 with the spread this week, but the fucking Jags, man, I really had a hope that the Jags could win this game.
Yeah.
And they had a perfect storm. Mahomes was fucking hobbled. He was out of the game for a minute. You had the perfect storm to come in and do it, but it just shows that Trevor Lawrence is young. He'll get better, but he had some growing pains in that game.
Yeah, he did. They came against a better team and they ran it close. Pretty impressive, really. Again, the Jags are like the Giants in this respect, where the Jags have had an amazing season for them. Chris Sims expected them to win the Super Bowl or some shit when you go through listening to him. But no, they were good. They've had a good year. Trevor Lawrence is the guy. And in his first playoff run, he looked good. He ran Chad Henne close for a lot of the game. No, when Patrick Mahomes went down injured there, you're like, right, okay, the Jags have an opportunity now. The Chiefs, they brave it out. They've got this. They've done it before. It's not the first time that this has happened. They've got to a Super Bowl where Pat has been on the sideline, and they did a great job of toughing it out, getting the win against a really good Jags team who next year is more likely to be their year than this year. They're about a year early
And just remember, everybody forgets they traded for suspended Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. Calvin Ridley comes back next year, so they actually have like a wide receiver core now.
And the draft hasn't even happened. Yeah, free agency.
In my view, you have Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley, two great number twos, to an X factor, massive fucking wide receiver out of college.
Yeah, I think the Jags they're on the upswing for sure. I think that they shocked me a year early.
What about D-Hop to the Jags? Do they have
any cap space? That wouldn't be bad, but I guess it depends who the new head coach is too. Do you want to try to keep him, figure it out? I don't know, or do you want to rebuild?
Yeah, it doesn't look good though, does it?
No, and this guy, if Sean Payton's not going to take that job, but Sean Payton likes experienced older players. So if he would have came in, I could have seen D-Hop staying.
Yeah.
But he's not taking that job.
It's Denver until the Cowboys pick up the phone. Please, Jerry. Please. I'm sick of watching Mike McCarthy.
All right, Maddie, before we get to the Bills and the Bengals and then talk some quarterbacks that just played this weekend, I got a surprise for everybody. I got a sneak peek of my upcoming documentary that's coming out for February 10th.
Now you know why we're here. So if you have any doubts or reservations, now is the time to say so. No one will think any less of you. Because once you enter this family, there's no getting out.
Hey, what's this fucking thing, Sopranos? What the fuck it is? You never watched that? Supposed to be up.
These are real FBI recordings of 4 men talking about a mob TV show that they love. These men belong to a real crime family known as the DeCalicante family. In the TV show The Sopranos, Tony Soprano is the head of a fictional mob family. The Sopranos are violent, brutal, and unforgiving. But there was a real New Jersey crime family before The Sopranos.
Yeah, it was cool.
The New York Mafia families have never looked at the DeCalicantes as anything more than a glorified crew.
If you listen to Bruce Springsteen, he'll tell you everything you need to know about New Jersey. New Jersey is the place you want to get out of, and you aspire to come to New York. It's the place next to power. It's the place next to money. It's the place next to celebrity.
If you asked anybody who was in the 5 families in New York, I don't think they'd want to be a member of the Jersey mob. I actually know of some cases where, guys couldn't get made in New York and had to, as a last resort, take Jersey.
Tony Soprano is always thinking about the good old days, when he thought that mafiosi were more Spartan, they were more loyal, they obeyed the oaths of Omerta, of how to conduct themselves as men of honor.
I'll burn in hell.
May I burn in hell.
I betray my friends.
In real life, they know that they're being watched, getting their pictures taken. They gotta watch that their phones aren't tapped. They gotta watch that the club that they hang in isn't bugged. They gotta be afraid now if the guy they're talking to is turn a wire on them.
They're absolutely paranoid, but you have to be.
There is no way they're as powerful today as they was, say, 30, 40, 20 years ago. Today, they're lucky they can get a reservation at a restaurant, really, literally.
All right, everybody, Maddie's hiding because he's really in the witness protection program, and he doesn't want the DeCalicante family to find him. No, but check that out. That's coming out on Real Talk on February 10th. It's how or do they base the Sopranos off of a real New Jersey mob family? Easy for me to say. Maddie came back from witness protection, so he's not afraid to tell anymore.
The mob scares the shit out of me, man. I had to dip out quickly.
All
I
right.
couldn't let the Colombians know that I was listening to some stuff about the American mob.
Oh shit. Thank you. I appreciate it. Bills, Bengals. So we'll have this circular conversation when we get to Dak, but I seen a meme that we'll start out talking about quick that said Dak is the black Kirk Cousins and Josh Allen is the white Dak Prescott.
Yeah, it seems a bit harsh on Josh Allen, that, doesn't it?
I don't know, man. They point out that I don't agree with this, but the argument is hard to argue against when they're like, he cost them the AFC Championship game. Like he cost them that game yesterday. Him and Stephon Diggs are fighting on the sideline. I don't blame Josh. I'm saying these are the arguments that I hear that it's kind of hard to fire back at.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it this year, I guess you can say that, but it doesn't really work on a couple of levels because normally Dak Prescott doesn't throw this many picks, like outside of this year.
So is your argument that Dak's better than Josh Allen?
No. Wait. But also, Josh Allen, although he does throw picks, normally just goes absolutely fucking crazy with big time throws and blitzing them through a game, you know? Josh Allen has made
I think the argument was made for winning the big games.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Allen has made life different in Buffalo since he got there, though.
Oh, I don't agree with what they're saying. I'm just saying it's hard to argue back with that because there is a point to what they're saying if you just look at wins and losses. And he did not play fucking great in that game. But I will say, and I said this to you, they got one more year without winning the Super Bowl before they have a problem with Diggs.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know where Diggs kind of gets off on this idea that he's entitled to a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, he's going hunting for Super Bowls and things like that, but he's on a team that has taken him so close to winning these games, so close to winning the Super Bowl. And it feels like it's there. I don't know where he goes, where he has a better opportunity to win a Super Bowl. Like realistically, where he goes, where they have the cap space.
I think, one, he's really bad at checking his emotions, but a lot of times these guys are so good their whole lives. They're like, my whole life, if you just get me the ball, we win games and get me the fucking ball. But it's like, bro, you were targeted 10 times.
Yeah, he's the main output of that team. Like the book falls with him as well as with Josh Allen. Like the only times Josh Allen doesn't throw to him is if he hasn't got completely open. Like Josh Allen, or even a little open, Josh Allen will force a ball into Stephon Diggs to go, no matter if he's in double coverage, triple coverage, no matter what the fuck, right? So stop pouting on the sideline and do something about it. Get open. Say, why don't you throw it to Gabe Davis more? Yeah, that'd be scary. Why don't you throw it to...
trying to stack the Raiders.
Where the fuck is this money coming from? The thing with Stephon Diggs is, so with guys like Brady, Von Miller, OBJ, they're coming towards the end of their careers. Like they'll take a pay cut. Stephon Diggs is still in his prime. He's not taking a pay cut. He still wants to be the highest paid receiver in the NFL.
Oh, and he's got a good chance to win in Buffalo, and I get it. But man, he's bad at really checking his emotions. And him leaving the stadium isn't so much an issue to me right after the game, like just grabbing his shit and leaving. It was like the way he was yelling at Josh Allen on the sideline. And I know Josh Allen's a good dude, and I'm not saying it would happen, but Josh Allen's way bigger than you. You might want to calm down a little.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is that, like, if you're going to take this stance, you need to be a leader on that team. And to be a leader on a team or of any team, you need to have good emotional control. You need to keep a level head. You can't get on top of it. It's like what happened with Justin Jefferson against the Packers, right? They took him out of the game by getting him in his head, by taking him away from his level-headed, normal way of thinking. Stephon Diggs gets riled up far too easily, and you're a leader of this team, and the cameras are on you. It's like in the same way that Brett Maher missing kicks takes the momentum away from the Dallas Cowboys. You kicking up a stink on the fucking sideline takes away any momentum or any chance of togetherness or fight or anything like that away from your organization because you are a leader.
Yeah, I do like the way that Josh Allen and why is the coach's name slipping my mind? But they both
Sean
ran.
McDermott.
Yeah, they both ran to his defense. You got that was the smartest thing they could do.
Yeah. See, they're two great leaders. That's the other thing. You don't get out of the coaching situation in Buffalo is better than in most places. So I'm interested where Stephon Diggs would go, where he thinks he'd have a better chance to win than Buffalo and get paid the same amount.
And just because you're a great player, though, that doesn't necessarily mean you're a leader.
Yeah, but he's a leader on that team. You don't get as much airtime. Yes, I know what you mean. I get you, but when you're that big of a star, it comes with the territory. Like, you can be a shit leader. You can be a massive star and a shit leader, but that doesn't mean you don't need to be a leader anyway.
All right, fair enough.
It's like Kawhi Leonard. Like, Kawhi Leonard, if he wants to be a leader or not, he still needs to be a fucking leader.
Oh, and just one last comment on that Cowboys 49ers game.
We have to keep coming back to it.
No, but can we now say that Fred Warner is the best middle linebacker in the NFL?
I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Oh, Leighton Vander Esch looked good. But
you're right, but I'm just saying, man, that dude is a different type of middle linebacker, definitely. And he is everywhere.
Definitely. Yeah. Unless you put Micah Parsons in middle linebacker. The Cowboys linebackers did a great job on Christian McCaffrey. Like, the Cowboys defense looked great, but Fred Warner was just terrifyingly good.
Yeah, and it looked like the whole game plan for the 49ers was just don't make a mistake.
Yeah, which is what the Cowboys should also have been. You know what I mean? Like, the Cowboys should also have been that. And I feel like it would have been that if it wasn't for Tony Pollard going down. But if Tony Pollard's the reason that we're doing this, then why are we paying Zeke anything?
Well, I did read that. I didn't see Zeke said this, but I did read in an article that Zeke said he's willing to take a pay cut to stay with
pay cut.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I fucking hope so. Be willing to take a pay cut to go anywhere. Like, nobody's going to pay him $15 million now.
Right, and I don't even know if he has any guaranteed money left on that deal.
No, doesn't.
Yeah, so yeah, he's gonna take a pay cut. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pay cut no matter what he does. I want him with the Cowboys. He's a great locker room guy. I wouldn't pay him anything.
If it stops working out for him at running back, he's always got a job as a long snapper.
He's also got a quality fullback career inside of him, doesn't he?
I just saw that snap to Dak was perfect. It was fucking perfect.
Ezekiel Elliott is the kind of guy who can fucking do anything, but his body won't let him do it. And
you should have made him kick the extra points.
Why?
Because he's stacking a dream team over there.
Stacking a dream team. He's got Josh Jacobs. You don't need Zeke.
If they re-sign him, I don't know if they're going to pay him.
Yeah. Are they of the? Well, I mean, Josh McDaniels is of the thought of running backs you can pick up anytime, can't you? It's the Patriots
but Josh Jacobs balled, so we'll see.
He was something else, man.
Well, since we're talking about Dak and Josh Allen, and so what do you think the 49ers do with Trey Lance now?
Brock Purdy's taken them to an NFC Championship game.
Yeah, he's their starter. The best they got out of Shanahan was he'll be the starter going into camp. But Jimmy G's walking. So what do you do with Trey Lance? You gave up 3 firsts and a second or a third, I can't remember, but you gave up 4 picks, 3 of them first.
Yeah, how much are you getting back for Trey Lance is the thing. Like, is it worth sticking him? Yeah, is it worth sticking him in the offense, seeing what happens? Like, give him a fair run, because you've already spent.
You have to worry about how that affects Brock Purdy moving forward too. You don't.
Yeah, you've already spent the capital on Trey Lance though. Like, but I know what you mean. I mean, just hold him for another year. Like, so you have Brock Purdy started going into camp, but realistically, you want Trey Lance to outplay Brock Purdy. Like that, is that not what you want?
Yeah, I don't think they believe that he's going to do it.
Yeah, I don't believe he's going to do it. I didn't believe he was going to do it during the draft. I thought it was fucking insane. But you've done it now. So you kind of need to attempt, but you don't compound one mistake with another mistake, all of that kind of stuff. I think it works. Brock Purdy's running that offense like a dream.
See, if I'm the GM for the Vikings, I'm on the phone with the Jets right now, and I'm on the phone with the Niners, and I'm like, I will give you Danielle Hunter. You give us, because he's a 26-year-old monster pass rusher, you give us Wilson or Lance and a second-round pick, and you can have a guy that we'll probably get 3 picks for when we trade him later on anyway.
Yeah. I think this is my chosen thing to do. If I was the GM, Shug, I think that's the best way to go do it. So to stick with Purdy and see how he performs year 2 and then trade Lance.
That works better for them. And I think in New York, I think Zach Wilson's time is over.
Yeah, 100%. I think if you're gonna get picks for him, you get picks from New York now. Like
that's why I said if I'm the Vikings, I call up and be like, you want a pass rusher? I'll give you Danielle Hunter. You give me Zach Wilson and a second-round pick or a third-round pick. You give us something on top of Danielle Hunter, and we'll take Zach Wilson too.
Yeah, and then they go and get Trey Lance to maybe start, see what happens there.
Well, there's a big rumor out there that that's where A-Rod's going.
Oh, wow. Okay. I haven't seen
and
that
I
one
didn't
yet.
think it was true until I listened to Chris Sims. They got a great running game. They got an awesome offensive line. They got a great receiving core. That defense is tough as hell. And I was like, that is a perfect place for Aaron Rodgers.
If I'm Tom Brady, I'm looking at New York.
Right? And then you get to play the Patriots twice.
Exactly. Would that not be fucking amazing? But if Tom Brady was the guy who won the Super Bowl with the New York Jets, and then A-Rod goes to Vegas. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I was waiting. I was going to say that joke.
He's coming off the bench for Vegas.
I was gonna say that joke. That was my joke, Shug. Fuck you, man.
Think about this though. So if the Packers did trade Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, that's where the Packers traded Brett Favre to when he left the Packers.
Yeah.
Which means
nice bit of symmetry.
Which means in 2024 he will be a Viking.
Good one. Yeah, I mean, if I'm Tom Brady, I'm looking at that Jets job more than anything. And if I'm looking at the Vegas job, I'm almost switching that around. I think that would work really well for them. Because the Jets have a buttoned up organization-ish. Like obviously, then Vegas have Josh McDaniels. It's very difficult, isn't it?
I think Brady and McDaniels is just like it's so perfect.
Yeah, it depends how Brady wants to play this, though, isn't it? Like, does Brady want to say, he only won 1 Super Bowl without Josh McDaniels, without being a Patriot, without being Josh McDaniels, without that?
I don't think that's it. I think they'll still go, he won 2 without Belichick.
Yeah.
And they'll go, Josh McDaniels won 1 without Belichick. It will be shit on Belichick day if those two get together and win one. I don't think they'll take anything away. I think everybody will take the opportunity to shit on the greatest coach in NFL history.
I think the other wild card in this entire situation is Lamar Jackson.
I keep seeing Vikings fans. Like, they don't understand dead cap. So a lot of the people.
Yeah, I keep on seeing Cowboys fans.
I get people don't understand how the dead cap works, and you'll actually cost you more if you cut Cousins. But whatever. So they keep saying Lamar to the Vikings, trade for him, blah, blah, blah. And the Vikings could make it work because by cutting 5 defensive players, they could be the second most cap in the NFL. Mm-hmm. By cutting Harrison Smith, Kendrick.
And the defense doesn't work.
Huh?
With those players. And the defense doesn't work with those players.
No, and they're getting old and slower, right? And if you're going to stay with the 3-4, Kendrick's I think he's got to go. He's not fast enough to be a 3-4 middle linebacker. And
yeah, just drafted entire
Darius
defense.
Smith just got fucking hurt and was nowhere at the end of the year. And Daniil Hunter's only got 1 year left, so get something for him. Boom, you got $80 million. But that's not the point. My point was, I don't want Lamar as great as he is, because you have to have the best backup quarterback in the NFL if you have Lamar, because he's always hurt.
Yeah, he's not the same, and he's not the same if he's not in that same offense. You have to change your offense for Lamar Jackson. The most interesting trade that I've seen is just straight up like Lamar for Justin Fields. just see what happens.
If you're the Ravens, why would you do that?
I don't know. I don't know. The thing is with that is it means you don't have to change your offense. Sorry.
If you're taking Lamar and I'm getting Justin Fields, you better give me that first overall pick.
Yeah, with picks. So you get the picks, but if you have Justin Fields, you don't have to change your offense at all.
Well, Greg Roman left though, so they have to get a new offensive coordinator anyway. And if I was the Ravens and you had to let Lamar go, I'd be like, okay, give me Justin Fields, the first overall pick, and then I would trade Justin Fields and I would draft a quarterback.
All right. Wheeling and dealing.
Yeah. Well, I just don't want Justin Fields on anywhere.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen a lot of Cowboys fans saying a very similar thing about Dak Prescott for Lamar Jackson, and I understand the frustration, but it doesn't work.
I'm seeing people saying that you guys should move on from Dak and sign Jimmy G.
Yeah, that doesn't make it.
The Cowboys have to run it back with the team. They almost have to run it back with the team they have.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what your opinion is. The only way that the Cowboys can efficiently run next year in terms of salary cap is with Dak Prescott at the helm. And the way what you need to do is you need to go back and say to Dak Prescott, "Hey man, like what's happened here? How come you're throwing the ball to the other team a lot more than you have been before?" And just find out what the fuck is going on. Because it's decisions. It's decisions.
Go find him a different offensive coordinator. It's time. And it's not even an indictment. It's just time for a new system, a new voice in the room. Like, get Dak more comfortable doing things that, get him roll him out. And I don't know.
It's difficult because we've had one of the most efficient offenses in the league since Kellen Moore's taken over.
Yeah, I'm not taking a shot, but you got to agree that sometimes a change of scenery, like for the coach and him, is just better.
I'm hoping that Kellen Moore gets a head coaching job this year because I don't want to sack Kellen Moore. Yeah, so we keep Dan Quinn number one. But I don't want to sack Kellen Moore just because it would look bad, And he doesn't deserve, Kellen Moore doesn't deserve to be sacked, right? Doesn't deserve it.
No, but if they did it right away, which they're not going to do anyway, but if they did it like tomorrow and just said like, this is not an indictment on him, we just want to do something different with this offense, he'd get a job like that because there's what, like 8 offensive coordinator jobs open right now. And for some reason, nobody wants to touch that San Diego offensive coordinator job.
Yeah, because
nobody wants to be fired next year. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Because who doesn't want to work with Justin Herbert? Who doesn't want to work with Justin?
I think Kellen Moore's style of offense would look great with Justin Herbert. I think every style of offense would look great with Justin Herbert in really, but apart from maybe Greg Roman.
I was going to be a smart ass and say that too, but yeah. But
I think everything would look better with Justin Herbert in it. I mean, Kellen Moore's I see Kellen Moore as he was a really good backup quarterback. He was a really good quarterbacks coach, and he's a really good offensive coordinator. It's time for a new voice for Dak Prescott. I totally agree with you. Hopefully, that new voice is Sean Payton. That's all I want. That's all I want to happen. As long as Mike McCarthy isn't in the room, then I'm fine.
Yeah, this off season is going to be pretty crazy with the quarterbacks that could be moving around. And
definitely.
A team like the Vikings, who got Kirk on a 1 more year deal, if they don't want to extend him, need to get a guy like Zach Wilson to sit behind him for a year.
Yeah, do you know what would be quite funny if the Packers managed to go from Favre to Rodgers to Lamar Jackson?
I see more of a year with Jordan Love, and then if they don't like him, then they're stuck with somebody like Jimmy G.
Yeah. I don't know. Jimmy G is an interesting playing chip in this whole conversation as well, I think. Because wherever he goes, he's looked good. Like, he's looked
He
good,
just
just
gets
not the best.
injured.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. He's a backup from now on, isn't he? An elite backup.
I don't know, but the only team I don't want to see Lamar land on is the Lions.
I know. That'd be fun.
No, it wouldn't.
Not for you.
No, that would be fucking awful.
That would suit their game so fucking well.
Yeah, with St. Brown and the running game and whatever. But before we get out of here, I got who do you got? Just we'll pick with the points before the game, but who you got in the AFC and the NFC championship?
So NFC champions, Philadelphia Eagles.
I agree.
AFC champions, Cincinnati Bengals.
I got KC because even with Mahomes' injury, he can win in the pocket, and they're going to tort all the shit out of him.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes won't be feeling anything during the AFC game. I'll be surprised if he remembers any of the AFC.
And then he'll have 2 weeks to heal up before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they'll hit him with another Toradol shot before the Super Bowl. He won't feel anything, and then he'll have the whole offseason to make it right.
Yeah, he won't remember shit of this next few weeks.
I think that, and I could change my mind before we make our picks, but I think the Eagles could win this by double digits.
Against the 49ers. I agree. I really do agree. The Eagles have created some sort of like fucking crazy juggernaut where their offensive line is amazing, their defensive line is amazing, their secondary is amazing when it's not injured. They have the best wide receiver pairing in the league, and they have an MVP candidate at quarterback. Where did that fucking come from?
And Miles Sanders looks all right.
Yeah, they can actually. Yeah. I would look all right beyond that offensive line.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying, like, even before the year, he told people, don't draft me in fantasy because I'm not a big fantasy points guy. You know, he does the dirty work or whatever. This year, he was a good fantasy points guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, did you see the picture of Mark Duffy got his trophy over there in England?
I know. That was nice. Well done, Mark. Well done.
And they like the lady at the post office was like coaching me through it. She's like, you got to put how much it's worth on there, but just remember, if you send something that's worth more than $30, the recipient has to pay a custom fee. I was like, oh, she's like, how much was that worth? I was like $25.
Perfect. Well, I mean, like, it'll be staying in the UK now forever, so it doesn't really matter. Like, it's fine.
I was like, I'm not going to make him pay some custom fee.
Yeah, well, I think we should just make the trophy over here next year, really, shouldn't we? Because it's staying here.
I don't know. I think, okay, so he told me he just started playing fantasy football. You just started playing fantasy football. I think we waved through the beginner's luck, and now we're going to get back into...
No. That trip is staying in the UK. It's staying in the UK.
I have not said this ever because I don't want to sound like the poor sport, but it still digs in me to this day that I would have won that playoff game by 35 points if I'd have started Cam Akers.
Yeah, I would have won mine if I didn't get rid of Evan Ingram.
I didn't want to sound like a salty cunt, like over the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I held it till now, but for some reason, and I would have never started Cam Akers. There's nothing in my head that would have made me start Cam Akers, but it's still like if I'd have started Cam Akers.
So you're not sat there saying like it's a decision that we both made it's a decision that we both made. Like, I made the decision to get rid of Evan Ingram, and Mark Duffy then picks him up and beats me in the playoffs with Evan Ingram, right? It's a decision that I made. Like, that's the reason that I lost. But it's still the decision that I made, and he beat me for it. Like, you know.
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad, or I'm really glad. So we didn't know how to handle it because literally our league came down to the game that got canceled.
Yeah.
It all came down to Mixon's needed 22 points. So we decided to run it the next week, and it seemed to work out all fair because Mixon didn't get it. So the guy who was leading still won the league. So it seemed to like play out very fair too.
Yeah. I don't think there's no money or anything on the line. Is there just pride? So I think it's fine.
No, and they both were great. Like you can give it to the other one, but as I just wanted to make sure like we did it fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And I
It was
hated the
nice.
idea of there's one guy who can win it, but because the game got canceled, like you're going to lose. I didn't think that was fair to Josh. So
Yeah, because Mixon, like, it's not out of the realms of possibility that Mixon would score 22 points.
Yeah, I think he got 17 in the game where Josh.
Yeah, he scored like 45 like 3 weeks before it.
And he would have got more, but they benched him because they were so far ahead, and it was week 18.
Yeah, well, you know.
Right, but no, it felt more fair that way, though, that at least Mixon got to play, you know. So, all right, Maddie, what do you got going on for the rest of the night?
Well, I'm going to go walk down a very dark hill because that's where my Airbnb is.
Where are you right now?
I'm in the fucking, like, you'll love this house that I'm in. I'll tell you all about it another time, but
All
it's
right.
fucking sick.
You got
I'll
pictures
tell
too?
you next show, I'll tell you all about it.
All right, sounds good. You have a good night and walk safe down your dark hill.
Will do, man. Good
All
night.
right.
See you later.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for watching. Have a great night, and we'll be back to you before the games. One world, one love. Deuces.
Cheerio.